Our adventure starts now. As we set our first heading for Alcatraz Island,
Dámelo.
site of the former federal penitentiary. All folks know Alcatraz for its legendary inmates. Guys like Winston Alcatraz and the Birdman of Alcatraz. And not much of the land surrounding our beautiful bay. You'll see this national park site is now home to a thriving population of flowers and plants, marine wildlife, and thousands of seabirds. Have your cameras ready for our first landmark. Just behind us, you can't miss the San Francisco Oakland Bay Bridge. The structure is actually 3 different bridges in one. 2 suspension bridges on the San Francisco side, and a cantilever span on the Oakland side. The lush Yerba Buena Island provides the center anchorage. The double-deck tunnel through the island was, at the time it was created, the largest man-made tunnel bore in the world. When this 5-mile-long bridge opened in 1936, it was the most complex and most expensive in the world. U.S. President Herbert Hoover called it the greatest bridge ever built by the human race. Although many people believed it couldn't be built, this engineering triumph was completed in just 3 years. As you can see, the eastern part of the Bay Bridge is under construction again. One section of the east span sustained major damage during the Loma Prieta earthquake in 1989, so that entire portion of the bridge is being replaced with a new structure. This project is almost as ambitious as building the original bridge. And now, looking off to our starboard side, you can see Treasure Island, the man-made neighbor island to Yerba Buena Island and the Bay Bridge. It has a long, white building on it. The low-lying island was first used as a site for the 1939 World's Fair, the Golden Gate International Exposition. This entire island was built on shoals using sand and gravel dredged up from the Bay and Sacramento Delta. It was romantically named for the Sierra gold its soil might contain. The island was supposed to become San Francisco International Airport when the fair ended. But World War II came along, so the Navy took control of the island, and it became Treasure Island Naval Station instead. Since the base closed in 1997, Treasure Island has become San Francisco's newest neighborhood, and every room has a view. Behind us, and off our port, or left side now, there's a nice view of the city by the bay. The skyline merges the classic and the new. Telegraph Hill with Coit Tower on its crest sits just in front of the modern spire of the Transamerica Pyramid. Many of the other landmarks we will see have a military history that spans more than 2 centuries, and most, including Alcatraz Island, have newer parkland roles protecting the natural beauty and history of the bay. Angel Island, Fort Baker, the Marin Headlands, all these former military sites are now part of the extensive Golden Gate National Recreation Area. On our tour today, we'll circle Alcatraz Island and pass along the shoreline sites of many federal prison escape attempts, including the still unsolved escape from Alcatraz in 1962. We'll also discover the island's other histories, both human and natural, and its many roles, from Civil War fortress and military prison to civil rights symbol for American Indians. And now, straight ahead is Alcatraz Island, once a guano-covered colony of seabirds.
Vamos ir a la teta.
Lieutenant Juan Manuel de Ayala is thrilled you've managed to navigate through the narrow mouth
¿Y la
to this
teta?
great bay. You're astonished to see
Isla de los Alcatraz.
Get another chair from the back. Mira,
now
ahí va
step
a salir
aboard
ya
a U.S.
escuchas.
government skiff. You're an enlisted man. Along with some other historic buildings, it burned down in 1970 during the American Indian occupation of the United States. On top of the hill, the massive three-story main prison building is built almost entirely by military prisoners. This is the maximum security prison was a temporary home to more than 1,500 federal prisoners between 1934 and 1963. Former captain of the guard, Bill Burton, might brag, only 17 of them ever came back for seconds. Reporting the site of many prison break attempts. Along the shoreline in 1939, 5 inmates, including Doc Barker, son of the infamous gang leader Ma Barker, escaped from the cell house and made their way in the dark down these cliffs to the small cove below the water side, now known as Barker Beach. The pounding surf kept the men on the island, and a search party found them. They released Shirley Barker and captured rest.
Ay, papá, mira. Ya no miramos aquí.
Oh, no.
No, pues vamos atrás. No se mira. Mira, ya anduviéramos. Vamos a agarrar los boletos en internet. Negra, negra.
The launch factory and a 3-story warehouse on the cliff. With work privileges, earning between 5 and 30 cents per hour, doing military functions and making brushless clothing manufactured. In 1943, 4 others had a chance to test the water there.
Más allá de las olas
And
y
scrambled down to the shoreline. This movement did Floyd Hamilton, bank robbers, and former drivers of the infamous outlaws
la
Bonnie
teta
and
que
Clyde.
sacarlo de la
Howard Yard inspired on swimmers. The next day, claimed 2 babies had been captured. And she was thrown overboard in the water. Hamilton. The fears of really happened. Hamilton had been found, and she survived. Then swam back to shore and stayed in a small shoreline cave for 2 days. Camp and caves. Planes reached old industry buildings.
ahí.
5 more years and lost all accumulated good
La
times.
teta del niño no sé dónde quedó.
Ven en vivo.
No puedo. Internet está por ahí.
The tall smokestack Coming into view along the shore was part of the powerhouse. This is where the electric power and steam for heating the prison were generated. Water for the island had to be shipped in and stored at water towers, like the one up ahead. Behind the water tower is the original site of the Rose Garden and greenhouse, left over from the military era. In 1933, the Federal Prison Warden Secretary, Frank Reichel, began tending the island's ancient roses. He even lobbied the warden to let inmates work the soil. One prisoner, a convicted counterfeiter named Elliot Mishner, shifted his interest from the greenbacks to a green thumb during his time on the rock. He helped Reichel build a tool shed and greenhouse, and even won permission to order seeds and molds. Mishner tended his garden, and indeed himself. After his release, he never returned to prison, and gardened until his death at the age of 95. He wrote later the experience gave him a lasting interest in creativity. Look for his gardens dotting the island, now being restored by volunteers. Up ahead, near the shore, are the ruins of the Officers Club and Social Hall. It held a dance floor, gymnasium, two-lane bowling alley, and soda fountain, with penitentiary staff and their families went for a little R&R. Beside the social hall, there was a small store for some 300 civilians living on Alcatraz. We're coming within view of a large, whitewashed U.S. Army guardhouse. You can still see the original gun slit in the basement, which was the island's original prison. It was accessed via a trap door and ladder. Just ahead, if you glance up below the cell house, you might see a burst of colorful flowers. These are the original Officers' Row Gardens, tended by officers' wives. Many of the historic plants survived 40 years of neglect. Since 2006, volunteers have been restoring the gardens all over the island. You can tour the gardens of Alcatraz twice a week, on Friday and Sunday mornings. The large building towers over the dock area built in 1964. This fine plant that started the scene, Agave americana, is not native to the island. The military planted it to help prevent erosion. The stone pathway along the water's edge and traversing up the hill is the agave trail. Agave is also called century plant because it can take up to 60 years to bloom. The prisoners didn't know it, but blue agave is used to make tequila. The agave trail is open only during the fall and winter months. It's closed during nesting season to protect habitat for a colony of black-crowned night herons.
Look what it says. Look what it
As we
says.
escape around the island and head out towards the Golden Gate Bridge, let's talk about a couple more famous escapes. Frank Morris,